Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of How Are You Getting Fucked? I'm your host, Louis Rossman. Today we're going to talk about the Petlibro series of cloud smart feeders for your animal. So if you're away from home, as I am from time to time, it can be useful to have a device that will feed your cats or feed your animals. And the ones that I've bought have always been one of two types. Either A, the type where essentially it's a gravity feeder, it just keeps dispensing food until it runs out, or two, the type that is local where I could put it on a schedule. And I've switched to the gravity feeder because if I'm away, I still have somebody check up on my cats every day just to make sure things are going well, but I don't want any electronics, much less something connected to the internet, being the reason that my cat has not been fed. And this really validates my decision to use one of those feeders. So they make a cloud feeder that connects to the internet, and it also has subscription packages ranging from about $12 to $17 a month. And because this piece of garbage connects to the internet, that means that when there's an issue with their cloud server, it actually stopped feeding people's cats. The problem that I have with this is not just the fact that it stopped working, it's the fact that they were not being fully honest with users. So they said the following: there were cloud server issues that caused a backlog of data requests, overloading the system memory. So it looks like Petlibro is having the same problem that the Swiss train system is having by using systems that have anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now. That is a long story. But they had an issue. It was said that the outage was due to cloud server issues that caused a backlog of data requests, overloading the system memory and bringing down the data service in the process. After successfully restarting the cloud service, the backlog reoccurred and the system went down again. At that point, the team conducted systematic troubleshooting of the cloud service system, identified the underlying issue, patched the solution, and closely monitored the slow upscale of traffic toward recovery. Now, a big problem here is that they marked the incident as resolved around 7 p.m. on August 12th, saying that the app was fully restored and operating normally. However, many people as far as August 13th said that their readers were still showing as offline and were not dispensing food. Further, the company claims, and I quote, that scheduled feedings are programmed directly onto the device and should continue to run as scheduled without an internet command. Yet, many users have been reporting that when the device had a cloud issue, that it stopped dispensing food. And this is obviously a problem. I'm away from my home right now. Now, granted, I do have somebody that checks up on my cat several times a day because Mr. Clinton is an elderly cat and he needs a special medication in order to stay functioning. He has a heart issue, a thyroid issue, and a kidney issue. But if I did not have that and I was trusting this cloud piece of garbage, that means Mr. Clinton might starve and I wouldn't even know. Petlibro has claimed the following: that scheduled feedings are programmed directly onto the device and that they should continue to run as scheduled without an internet command. That scheduled and routines continue to operate locally as scheduled provided the device was not reset, and that Petlibro products carry out pre-scheduled routines like feeding and self-cleaning on their own, and this function for the vast majority of devices. Yet later on, after this made the news, after many people had devices that were not feeding their animals, Wu acknowledges that the company was aware of reports from some customers whose devices did not behave as expected and was reviewing those cases individually. This is sadly only the tip of the iceberg with these products. There were actually a bunch of CVEs that had remained unpatched for several months after they knew that there were a problem. And this is where it really gets fun. These devices allow you to log in remotely so that you could do things like see your cat. So if I wanted to see my cat while he's eating, I can do that. And it also has a microphone in it for me to program a message for the cat. You probably see where I'm going with this. This thing was set up so poorly that if you had somebody's email address and their Google account ID with no password, no OAuth token, no nothing, you could actually log into it, you could add yourself for permissions, you could see the camera. And again, this is a device that has a microphone built into it. You need to take these things and get them the fuck out of your house. It's not just the fact that the device had these security issues, it's the amount of time that passed from the time that the company knew these devices had these vulnerabilities and fixing it and telling the public. It's not just the fact that the devices stopped feeding cats at the point that their cloud server was overloaded, is that they claimed that the devices still continued to function in spite of the fact that many of them did not. Your cat deserves better than this. Mr. Clinton would never pay $12 to $17 a month for a cat feeder. He has me for that, and I do it for free. That's it for today, and as always, I hope we learned something. If you have one of these devices in your home, in my opinion, it is for the best of your animal that you rip it the fuck out of your house and replace it with something old-fashioned. I know it sucks, it's lame, I get it, having to pay somebody to come by to check on your cats when you're away is not the best, but this is a great way to make friends with your neighbor. We really do live in a world where you can buy an automatic cat feeder and have random people that you don't know that can listen to you and see you through the camera and the microphone in the device. Welcome to 2026. Get this stuff out of your house. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.
We also have the duty not to infringe the IP rights in the process. It is in fact the manufacturers who have the relevant rights, not consumers.